Okay, so this video is going to be about carpet stretchers and just what little information I know about them and how to use them. So when you open up the box, this is what you got. This right here is this does your fine tuning. Say if you got maybe a foot from your wall, you can just you can move this. If you look in it right here, see how close these holes are together? So that's going to allow you to get real precise on where you want your headpiece at. Versus these holes are, you can see how far apart they are. You can't get, you know, your distance. The other ones are like this. So you can get a lot closer, a lot more accurate with this pole. This pole always hooks into your headpiece. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, actually this is the headpiece. I've had these for 20 years now. They're really built just to last for a long time. I have replaced this bolt. I have replaced this bolt. I've took off my, it had a locking mechanism right here. I took that off because this pole just got wallered out to where it wasn't working properly. But, I mean, they still work. They're metal, made out of all metal. Got a few teeth missing on the bottom of them, but that's okay. Anyway, this is the headpiece. This is the tail piece. This always hooks in here, and then these adjust. This is just if you need to do something real short, say in a closet or a hallway or something like that. It's a real short pole. These poles will extend out. They're like, I don't know how long they are right here, but extended out, they're 5 foot long if you stretch them all the way out. They got little push buttons right there. If you look inside here, I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, what you do is you push them in and slide the pole down like that. And then you can put it anywhere you want to, and then it pops back through the hose, and it's not going to go anywhere. So let's go ahead and take them in the room that we're going to be stretching, and I will talk a little bit more about these when we get them in here. Okay. So typically a 12 by room you can get by with 2 poles because you got 5, about a foot here and about a foot there. So if you got a room that's under 12 foot or 12 foot, you can get by with 2 poles. So I'll put all my poles right here where I'm going to be working. I won't spread them out across the room because there's no need for extra crawling. We do enough crawling in this business. So I will just put them all together right here and then slide them across the room as I put them together. Your stretcher head here also gives you a little bit of adjustment. We got 3 buttons right here in case you get in a real tight spot or you just need the extra length. You can come back here. I always use this one because it's the first hole. If you need to be a little bit shorter and you can't adjust your poles up no more, you can go up about 4 more inches right there. You can go 1, 2 right there. So typically what I'll do is I'll leave my tail piece about so far from the wall. You can see it's about a foot from the wall. I'll leave it right there, and then I'll adjust by using this. It's auto lock, and it'll just I push the buttons, and like I said a while ago, I got all these little bitty holes where I can get it real perfect there. On my first stretch, whenever I'm doing my very first stretch, well, let me just show you. I'm going to put my headpiece. Okay. So now, looking down through there, I got my stretcher straight in the room. Okay. Now watch this. Whenever I crank down on this, first off, if you'll notice, I got just enough here to get my hands in there. Okay. My tack strip's right here. If you're way back, if you're like this far back, look what happens. See, it just wrinkles up right here. So you need to have your headpiece. You can push these buttons and you can adjust it 1, 2, 6. So you can get real tender about this. You can get it exactly where you want it. You only want enough room here and here to where when you mash it down, you're not going to be on the tack strip because your hands need to be here on the tack strip, okay? So anyway, I'm straight. When I stretch, if you'll watch, let's see here. If you'll watch, let's get a particular mark right here. I want you to watch this here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a cut right there too, right on that mark. That way we can see what's going on here. Okay, so that cut is right dead even with that mark. So if I start stretching straight, what's going to happen? My carpet's going to shift this way. Watch this. Okay, you see that? So that moved about a 1/2 inch right there, okay? If you're doing a pattern carpet, or if you're doing a Berber or something where you got rows and you need to keep your carpet straight, that's not going to fly, okay? What you need to do, if that does happen and you have to do it, okay, see this little notch right here in the kicker? These stretchers are made just for that. See, it's got a little lip right here and the same, watch this. See how that fits perfect? That's exactly what that's for, okay? So you can actually take and bump it back like that. See that? Now that's right back where it needed to be. That's perfect, okay? But just to prevent all of that, I always will start my stretchers at an angle. My tailpiece, let's see here. My tailpiece is always going to be, if I'm starting here, my tailpiece is always going to be angled toward the corner that I start in. It's never going to be this way, never going to be angled away from where I'm starting or straight. I always want to get my first stretch angled toward that corner, okay? Now again, my mark is still perfect right there. If you'll watch, see that? It's right dead on my mark, my cut is, okay? So now that I'm on an angle, watch, it won't move, it'll stay right there. See that? Now look here, I'm still right dead on my mark. It didn't shift to the right. So look here at my angle of the stretchers. I always start stretching toward the corner first, okay? If it's on the left side of me, what I want to do, my hands need to be holding that down on the tack strip as I lift the tailpiece up, okay? I mean, as I lift that stretch off of it. So what I want to do is match my hands down on the tack strip right there until I feel the strip. Since I'm already up here in this position, I'm going to take my foot right here behind me. Look right here. Take my foot right behind me. It's real easy, and just kick that up, okay? And then what that allows me to do is it holds pressure right here down on the tacks. When here's this, we'll say my fingers are the tack strip. When the carpet gets pushed up over it, and I mash it down like that, and then when I let off the stretchers, it backs down on it real tight and gets a real good hold. So you want to have pressure on the carpet as you lift the handle, okay? So now that I got my first stretch here at an angle toward the corner, I'm going to kick it back and angle it, put my stretchers at an angle just the opposite way. Now for the rest of this wall right here, I'm going to continue running my stretchers at an angle, okay? So, then I'm on the left side of the stretchers now. Actually, a while ago I was on the right, but now since since the stretchers are on my right, it's a little awkward for me to do it with my left leg. So I just take my leg right there and bump it up. That's all I have to do, okay? Now, I got my I got this all stretched here at an angle that way and at an angle that way. Now what I want to do is tie this wall off here, and I'll get started that way. I'm going to go ahead and do that. No need to watch that because this is about stretching. We don't need to watch trimming and all that mess. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we got the whole back wall is tied off now, right here. And as you can see how we got our stretcher set up, again, we're at an angle running toward the corner from about 3 foot off the wall. That's always how I want to start my first stretch. One thing to keep in mind also is if your walls do not have baseboard on them, you're going to want to, I got 3 different size 2x6s that I keep on my van at all times, just for short areas, you know, something big enough to reach across double doors or whatever. I got 3 different sizes just for convenience. But this puts such force on the carpet. If you don't have something, if you don't have a baseboard, you're going to want to lay a board down. Lay a board down and put your tailpiece on it and stretch off the board, or else you're going to end up pushing a hole in the sheetrock, okay? All right, again, so, okay. I can feel that pulled everything snug there. Now there's no wrinkles or anything behind me. The rest of that crank is going to be all stretched, because right now it's already tight. So the rest of that, that's all stretched. That's not pulling wrinkles out or anything. You can see how much it pulled. See this? It's like if you stretch a piece of material where you get vertical bubbles in it. That's exactly what happens when you get a nice stretch there. So again, I'm going to push that down there and bump that with my leg over here on my right side. Okay, and then as I'm stepping over already, I'll just put my foot right there and drag it over at an angle toward the other way. Now my tailpiece is all the way in the corner, and I'm about 18 inches from the wall. Bend it down like that and pre-bend it, mashing it on the tack strip as I raise up with my foot there. And I just work my way right on across the room there. Okay. So now you can see what's happening right there. I'm all short. My stretchers needs to be adjusted up. First thing I want to do is start right here to adjust them up. I'm going to squeeze these buttons, push it up, and what I did there, I just locked it in one time. Okay. So here, if you'll just push the buttons, give it just a slight turn. See if my adjustable pole wasn't locked in, the whole thing would turn. But since it's locked, I can just turn it, put it right in there where I want it to be. Pull my short pole out because I don't need that now. Click that right back in. Now I'm going to put it on this wall and finish stretching my room. Again, I'm about a foot from the end down there. So that gives me all my fine adjustment to deal with right here. All nice and convenient right beside me. I'm not crawling back and forth, setting it up and everything like that. Now, I'm down there, I got a doorway, so I can't literally stretch off at nothing there. So I want to keep my tailpiece right there as close as I can get. And because see here, it's perfect, see the distance? But when I move over here, it's at a further stretch. So I'm just going to adjust that up just a little bit more, scoot it up there where it goes. Okay. Okay, now by having my stretchers at an angle this direction and then on this wall at an angle that direction, it works everything out to that one corner, which is what we want. That's going to prevent any wrinkles from happening anywhere. If you'll do these steps, tie a couple feet off, go this way, tie that wall off, and go that way. And then now what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish tying that wall off and finish up stretching that direction right there. Let me just do that right quick while you're watching. Okay, so like I said a while ago, it does put a lot of pressure. So after I trim and tack it, the wall that I'm stretching from, I want to walk it down. Listen right here, come real close right here to my shoe. Listen to it get a bite on the tack strip. Hear that? Okay. So what that's doing is putting the nails through the back of the carpet, making sure it gets a good hold. Again, I'm at an angle toward the same corner I was been working toward the whole time. And I'm all the way at the corner here, and look how far my tailpiece is away from down there. So I'm about 2 feet from the wall there, and my headpiece is all the way at. That's about how much of an angle I've been throughout the whole room here. So, and when you're done, again, you want to start right here at this one. This is the main pole, and then I unlock that. Unlock that. You'll just push this up. It will slide out. So this thing will, see that? It free falls out. So you have to watch this one on tile or any hard surface. If you're carrying it, it's going to slide out. Okay. This is the only one that does that because it's an adjustment pole. These right here, they won't slide in or out at all. So real easy to break down and set up. And they're well worth the time, well worth the effort. You get a lot more quality. You're going to have a lot more longevity to your install. Your customers are going to appreciate you doing a better job because you're not going to have to keep coming back and re-stretching. So that's Carpet Stretchers 101. That's about all the basics I know how to tell you on the stretching there. So that's how to use a power stretcher. So something else I just wanted to mention real quick, as far as cutting the doorway, cutting stuff down before you stretch. If you're not used to stretching, you're going to want to think of which way you're going to be stretching and stuff before you cut your rooms down. Because if you see here, we got a corner here and a corner here. That's all good, okay? Because we're just right by the edge of the wall where we're stretching from. If we had a corner over here, you know, a foot or two, even, you know, a couple feet from where we was going to be stretching from, and it went in the room this way. We had an outside corner here. For instance, if this corner right there, if it was right here and we cut it down and folded it in, well, after we stretched, this thing's going to move, so that's going to be short. If this corner was cut down, you seen it a while ago just on my marking there, that was even to a side of it. So if that corner was up here and we stretched this way, it would pull off. So you always want to, if you are going to be coming this way, leave that corner tight. Even though it might leave a little bunch up, after you stretch it, then you can cut it down securely and finish kicking the wrinkle out or whatever you need to do the other direction to make it lay flat. Always watch your corners, cut them down previously to stretching.